Good afternoon. Welcome to this edition of We Got You Covered on RVN TV. I'm your host, Rob Shestack, and we come to you every week talking about insurance-related matters, employee benefits, and so forth. This week we have with us Andrew Flanagan, and I'll give you a little bit of background on Andrew. He has his Bachelor of Science degree from University of Delaware. He has 15 years experience as a New Jersey licensed insurance producer. He's worked with MetLife and Humana, and today he is an account executive for Delta Dental of New Jersey. So the mystery is out. We're going to be talking about dental insurance, right? So I always like to begin with statistics on the topic that we're discussing. So according to the National Association of Dental Plans, 80% of adults consider dental benefits important. 95% consider oral health critical, yet 64% have dental insurance. And there's a lot of different reasons why they may or may not have it. 60% of adults without dental insurance do not go to the dentist because it's too costly, right?
Yep.
And then only 31% of adults consider that their oral health is very good. So that's pretty bad, right? If you and I are walking around saying, hey, I only feel 31% good in my health, that's not good.
Correct.
Right? So before we begin, what is the connection between oral health and your overall health?
Sure. I mean, if we think about it, our mouth is the one opening that we have into the world. So it's the one area that we can easily catch diseases from. And it's one area that a lot of people don't associate with their overall health. They think, hey, I brush my teeth, I'm okay. But they don't realize that there's little nuances in there. Like, for example, gum disease. The gum disease has a direct correlation to heart disease. And then, one of the things that we do is that when, during pregnancy, is that we'll actually give additional cleanings because of the periodontal disease that expecting mothers can experience can have a direct harm to the unborn baby, whether it's low birth weight, things like that. So we really want to make sure that if we're not paying attention to our oral health, that's going to have a direct effect on our overall health as it is.
That's a very good point. We're going to talk in the second half a little more about what dental insurance plans cover. You did mention that you give extra cleanings to women that are pregnant,
Yep.
going to have a baby. And when we go into the second half, we'll typically talk about a dental insurance program usually covers 2 cleanings a year, once every 6 months.
Correct.
So you're covering extra, which is not too common in a typical dental plan, correct?
Right. So, yeah, I mean, that's really the focus of making sure that the oral health and the overall health are one.
It's pretty rare where a dental insurance company is really interested in your overall health, not just your oral health. And I know University of Alabama, Birmingham did a study from their dental program that said dental exams, and I want to get this right, can detect early signs of diseases such as diabetes,
Yep.
leukemia, and other immune-compromised issues in their patients.
Correct.
So, is Delta Dental seeing that more commonly in patients?
We
Do they
are
record
actually,
it?
yeah. So one of the things that we're actually, and we'll get into it a little bit more, but one of the things that we're coming out with in 2020 on our plans is A1c testing for diabetes. And that's because it's so easy for a dentist to actually go in there and take a finger prick of blood and actually run the test. And one of the reasons why we focused on that is because people are seeing their dentist more than they're going in to see their normal general practitioner. Think about it. If you're going twice a year to get your teeth cleaned, having your routine exams, you're seeing your dentist more than that one time a year that you're going in to see your doctor. So if we can help prevent that and we can get an early detection, the ways that the patient can now actually understand what's going on and get the treatment and really start cutting down the cost down the line. Because for us, it's all about the wellness of the individual, and for us, it starts with the oral wellness.
That's amazing. When we were talking about what we were going to talk about today on the show, these things didn't even come up. So this is fascinating. So there's a couple of questions that are going to fall off for sure. What I like about it is the A1c testing. Diabetes does run in my family, and there's a lot of people that are walking around with type 2 diabetes, and they don't even know it.
Exactly.
And as you said, you're going to go to your dentist twice as much as you're going to see your general physician.
Right.
and they're going to be able to detect things maybe earlier than your typical medical physician practitioner will find.
Exactly. And I mean, I think just in this day and age, as medical costs are increasing, it's getting harder and harder for people to fit the premium bill, they're holding off going to the doctor. That anywhere that we can help out in the long-term things, that's really our focus, is making sure that people are well. I mean, it really is, as people are living longer, you want to be able to enjoy your life. You don't want to be stuck in, stuck in a hospital or do things that are preventable. And that's what we're trying to do, is get people to understand that certain things are preventable.
That's interesting, because I'm thinking about something else here. Even if you have diabetes, there's a lot of diabetics that still don't do their A1c testing. So now if the dentist knows that you have diabetes, they can do the A1c test right there and say, hey, Rob, I just did your A1c test. It's not good.
Right.
You need to go to your doctor, because
exactly.
You're not managing your diabetes the right way.
Right.
That's fascinating. And you just did the dental plan for me, and I'm sitting here saying, wow, this is great. This is awesome. Very fascinating. So, keeping that in mind, dental health, oral hygiene can help with other detections of wellness in other health issues. So why do employers need dental coverage?
In today's market for, the most valued and the best employees, first and foremost, it allows you to attract and retain those employees. Just as, as we saw today, it's a very small job market of unemployed people. So the competition out there for employers to attract and retain those best employees, what they're looking now, and it's not just my overall money that I'm making, but it's your total package that you're offering to that employee. I mean, I've read things from trade magazines where employees are looking at companies, not just that they're paying me X amount of dollars in salary, but they're actually in there looking at the entire benefit package. And that comes from your health insurance, dental insurance, and it just really grows out from there. And it really separates you. The other thing too, is we were just talking about, is with the dental insurance, is now that's going to help you with, those early detections. So it could help you save money on your premium and keep your claims dollars down, because that early detection is going to cost a lot less than when it's, when it's already grown, it's already established, and now you're really having to have a lot of medical expenses on there. So a lot of the things that it can help it do is really, I like to say, it saves you money in the long run, helps your employees, and it really shows your employees, I think, that you're concerned about them and you want them to be well, because as we know, being in the insurance industry, you have that absenteeism versus presenteeism, where, someone can, if they're not feeling well, sure, they may come to work because they feel like they have to, they need the money to go pay for what they're doing. But if you're giving them the benefits and you have that benefit package that's actually helping them live healthier lives and getting the care that they need at the time they need it, that's very important. And I think that's why we've seen this shift from more of just, I want to make all the, some salary and not get anything in benefits, to more of, I want a more well-rounded benefit package. And that shows to me as an employee that my employer really has my best interests in their mind.
Well, we're talking about wellness. A lot of employers are saying, I have a wellness program, smoking cessation programs, weight loss programs, and I have other wellness covered under my major medical program, which is required under the Affordable Care Act that was passed in 2010. You're adding a totally new layer on top of that, because now you're expanding other ways to help people with identifying wellness or things maybe they're not well in,
right,
such as diabetes and so forth, which they're not just going to their doctor and saying, hey, test my A1Cs, I think I have diabetes, but now the dentists are helping,
exactly,
taking that over.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. So, typically you talked about absenteeism, presenteeism, and employee benefits. We know the Fortune 1000 companies, Fortune 500 companies, they have medical, dental, vision, and a whole array of benefits. Your focus is in the small group market. So how would you define what you do in the small group market?
Sure. So my small group aligns with how it is here in New Jersey. So from employers that have 2 employees all the way up to 50 employees. And what we're doing in that market is, one, is educating them going out and letting them know what we are doing in the market, how we're going out, and how we can help them. Also, too, with Delta Dental of New Jersey, our networks. I mean, we are a company that was founded by a dentist. Half our board is made up of dentists, and so what we want to do is we want to be able to show them what we have in the market and how we can help them. And again, like you said, take that Fortune 1000 benefit and bring it down to that 2-person group, and providing that same experience, whether you're, again, that really large group to that small group, and providing that experience, because again, helping them out and grow and understand what the benefit is. Because I feel like some people will look at it and say, yeah, it's a nice to have, and not really understand the power of it and how it really can fit in, like you're talking about, into an overall benefit package that is really focused on the overall wellness of the individual.
You just changed the way that I'm recommending dental to my clients, I'll tell you that much. You know, it's so, but let's keep in mind that some of those Fortune 500, 1,000 companies, they have Delta Dental as their dental option. So it's not just limited to 2 to 50, you do larger groups as well.
We start at 2, and the sky's the limit, as I like to say.
100,000,
right. It's all that. And you know, what's great about it is it's that same experience, because you know, we're treating all those customers the same across the board.
That's pretty neat. So in the 2 to 50 marketplace that you play in, which we know a lot of our audience fits that as an employer group, or if they're an employee of that group, you know, how are your rates devised, and how does, say, underwriting work?
Sure. So we take a look at multiple things. One is your plan design, what you're looking to cover, and from our standpoint is we can, you know, we have plans out there. So if someone's brand new to the dental insurance, they're, you know, maybe they're a little tight with money, we have plans that fit that. We also have plans that, you know, if they really know what they're doing and they want to go there, we have plans for that. So our rates will vary about your plan design. 2, also, we'll also look at where, you know, what the company does, what their industry is. And then 3rd, we'll take into account their location, where are they at, and all those go into how we come up with our rates.
So is it driven off the employee census, the ages of the?
It's not based on age. It's based on location. The biggest thing is the location, the industry, and the plan design.
So my company and down the street is my competitor. We're going to have the same rates.
You're going to have the same.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right? It's defined.
Yep.
Well, we come to that point in the show where it's time to recognize our sponsors. We'll be right back in a few minutes with Andrew Flanagan, and we're going to talk about more plan designs and what the dental plans actually cover to give you a better perspective. We'll see you in a few minutes.
A very confusing and complicated process. Help is just a phone call away. 856-226-4800. As a licensed insurance agent, I'll assist you in making an informed and confident decision on a Medicare plan that meets your needs, lifestyle, and budget. Call me today for a free, no obligation Medicare benefits consultation. 856-226-4800.
When did you see the sign?
When I needed to create a better visitor experience.
Improve our workflow.
Attract new customers. That's when Fast Signs recommended Fleet Graphics.
Yeah, now business is rolling in. Get started at fastsigns.com.
What do I want to be when I grow up? Maybe a musician? A veterinarian? Maybe an equestrian? A mommy? Well, why not be all these things and more? Consider joining me, Dr. V, with friends and colleagues as we explore a wide range of topics together. V is for variety, here on RVN TV.
There you go, Richard. Oh! Is that too hard for you?
No. Is it too hard for you?
Woo! We're playing catch now. Oh, shit.
should you choose Rowan College at Gloucester County? Low cost. The #1 nursing program in all of New Jersey. More than 70 programs of study, including selective admissions. With record enrollment. A premier partnership with Rowan University. Transfer options with numerous universities. 4-year degree options on our campus. Rowan College at Gloucester County. Now you're thinking.
Welcome back to We Got You Covered on RVN TV. We're talking about dental insurance, and today we have with us Andrew Flanagan. And right before the break, you were talking about some very interesting things where wellness and dental and wellness and health are really going together far more than I ever thought. I've been in this business for 30 years. I feel almost embarrassed, but that was great. So one of the things that I always hear is dental insurance can be confusing, right? Deductibles, co-insurance, but you pay a percentage of this, but not that. So what we're going to go over is what is covered, what is not covered, and can you explain to the audience exactly how dental insurance works in case some employees have some questions about it?
So what you'll have is you'll actually have it broken down. Most times is we'll just take, for example, a preferred provider or plan. So what you're going to have is you're going to have your co-insurance. So your co-insurance consists of your preventative and diagnostic, which is in your top bucket. The middle bucket will be, and as you can see from the screen, will be your basic services. And the basic services, it depends on who you're dealing with and what's covered underneath there. And then at the bottom is your major services. So most plans, and the most popular plan, I should say, is what we see up on the screen is your 180/50. So that means 100% of your cost is covered when you go for preventative and diagnostic. This can be your regular cleanings, x-rays, things of that nature. When you go down to your basic services, that's covered at 80%. So 80% means the dental coverage is paying 80% of that. You're responsible for the 20% outside. And then you get down to the major services, which are covered at 50%. So figure dental coverage has 50% of that cost, you cover the other 50%. So really what it's doing is, and that the reason why you have the preventative and diagnostic covered at 100% is because we want the folks to go and get their teeth cleaned. We want them to go have those annual checkups. I mean, it's the same thing as in health insurance. You want to go for those yearly exams because you want to catch things quickly. When you're going every 6 months, you're getting your teeth cleaned, you're maintaining that good oral health, and your dentist is able to catch anything earlier than saying to wait and not go back for that. So really that's why you'll see most plans, or again, the most popular plan, the 180/50 plan, have that 100% co-insurance at the top. Now you're getting into what are your basic services, so these are like fillings, things like that. We happen to, at Delta Dental of New Jersey, we cover endodontics and periodontics, the standard in the small market in basic services. So you're getting that covered at 80%. And then your major services could be crowns, things like that. And we actually also cover implants, standard in the major services at 50%. So as you can see, routine, 100%, things that may come up in your routine exam, like a filling, covered at 80%, and then that major work is covered at 50% too. Now, some plans you can actually go ahead also and add orthodontia. Most plans, I would say a majority of it, it's going to cover for childhood orthodontia. So that's going to be covered at 50% normally to a specific lifetime maximum on that for the orthodontia, because if the orthodontia is done right, you should just have it once and then be done with it, and it's not a recurring expense for you. So really, when you're looking at a plan, you want to look at, from that standpoint, you want to look at what's covered underneath your the diagnostic and preventative, which is your top. Then the second one, it will be your fillings and things like that, what that's covered at. And then you can understand what's going there. But what's really neat is that if you are going for major services, you're going for major work, is that you can fill out pre-treatment estimates and actually send them in to us. And most carriers will do that, where you send them in so you know exactly what your out-of-pocket expense is going to be. So for example, you're going in to get, an implant, you want to know how much your out-of-pocket is, just have that submitted or have the dentist submit the pre-treatment estimate so you know well ahead what your out-of-pocket expenses are going to be. And it really takes the guesswork out of, hey, am I going to get a surprise bill after I have all this work done?
Are there any deductibles that I have to pay before the percentages?
So most of the time the deductibles are only applied to major and basic services. And what we'll do is you'll usually have a set amount, say $50, and then the deductible will be for the entire, if you have a family, it will be 3 times your family. So say, God forbid, you have a bad year and you, your wife, and your 2 kids have all fillings. So the first 3 people who would go get their fillings done, they satisfied that deductible. So you're the 4th person that goes in from your family, they won't have to worry about a deductible.
And I can have a plan with or without orthodontia.
You can have a plan with or without orthodontia too.
And the key question is, if you're an employer that's sourcing dental, you need to ask that question, does it cover orthodontia?
Right.
What about adult orthodontia?
Adult orthodontia is, in our small market, that's something that we don't cover, but we can as you get into the larger groups. It's because it's so, from my experience and being in this for so long, it's it's not something that's been used, and we don't see a lot of frequencies from it, but some plans want to include that, and you know, they can do that.
What about pre-existing conditions?
So pre-existing conditions, you'll find that on a lot of the plans. With us, again, because our focus is on that oral health, we don't have any pre-existing conditions. So if you were covered by someone else and you didn't get something taken care of while you were covered under there, we'll take care of that.
Yeah, I had an issue with a dental plan that I was a member of, where I had a tooth removed, and then I wanted to get a implant. And I had a different dental plan, and they said, well, since we don't know why it was removed to begin with, we're not going to cover the implant. And I had to fight with them, and they didn't cover it, and it was thousands of dollars.
And just from the marketplace, I think, there's a lot of folks out there who there may be pre-existing conditions in their plan. From our standpoint, we want to focus on that oral health and make sure that you're not waiting 12 months because you have some condition to get that taken care of, where, something that was maybe minor escalates into a major service and now costs you more money.
Sure, and I just want to make a note to the audience. That was just a sample plan design that we had up there.
Yeah,
that's not your standard
That's
one,
sample plan design. There's a lot of different options that we have. You can, from that standpoint is, we have, I think, there's so many different configurations that we can make of all our plans. Like I said, that's the most popular. That's kind of like, hey, this is what everyone, most people use, but we can move the co-insurances around. You can take co-insurances out and just have it mostly for like we were talking about before. New group comes in, they may not know what dental is. They may want a plan that just covers the diagnostic and preventative services. Other plans that may just want, hey, well, I just want to cover the diagnostic and basic services.
You can do that.
We can do that, yep. And then we have different co-insurances, so you can actually increase the co-insurance for basic services from 80% to 100%. So there's different things that we can do. Yeah, so there's different things that you can move around, so it's not just, oh, hey, one size fits all, because groups are different. Everyone has different needs, and like we were talking about before, some groups may say, hey, we're new to this and we really want to offer, we want to offer something, but we don't know what it is. So let's have something in there, see how it runs for a year. And that's a nice thing. Once you have a plan, usually the plan runs for a year. And then after that year, you can say, hey, this is great, everything works great, or hey, we need to go out and get a better plan, and we can always have those conversations. The changes always happen at renewal time.
I've seen the 80 go to 90, not 100, so that's pretty neat. So 100, 150, the 50 can even increase.
It goes up to, normally in those plans, they go to like 100, 160.
That's pretty good coverage.
And then you can even make the out-of-network co-insurances a little different too, so it's...
So let's talk about that. You mentioned something out-of-network. So when the audience looked at the screen, it said PPO and in-network and out-of-network. What does that actually mean under your dental program?
Sure. So what we do is we have 2 networks. We have our PPO network and we have our Premier network. So there's two different networks that we have at Delta Dental. So what the PPO network does is it will actually have all our PPO dentists in there. So you go in and you get your services rendered by the PPO dentist. Then we have our Premier dentist. So you have a PPO plus Premier, and I think that's what we did with you guys. So you can choose either a PPO dentist or a Premier dentist, go to either one of them. And here in New Jersey, it comes about to about 4 out of 5 dentists actually are in our network. So yeah.
80%.
So yeah.
Wow.
I would say maybe a little higher, but I'll be conservative and say 80%.
Wow, that's a big number. So what happens if I go to a dentist and he says, I don't take Delta Dental or I don't take dental insurance? What does that really mean?
So basically, a lot of those dentists are folks dentists that set up that haven't either joined our network or haven't joined anyone else's network, and they're just they're out there being a dentist on their own, and that's the way they want to do it. There's a couple different ways that can work. So you can either go in, pay the bill, You can pay whether credit card. It's actually dental insurance. If you have an HSA or an FSA, that actually qualifies for that. So you can pay with your FSA or HSA card for the dental insurance. Then and again, I do this personally. I haven't had a network dentist, and I've been going to him for probably 15, 20 years. So what I'll do is I'll go in, we'll have an HSA, pay with my HSA card, and then I just submit the claim form. Yeah.
So, well, one thing that just hit me, does it cover things like teeth whitening or anything in that nature?
Teeth whitening is considered more cosmetic.
Okay.
So things that are cosmetic that are normally excluded. So those are really things that are outside. We're really focused on the oral health. So anything that's directly linked to the oral health is what we focus on.
So we talk about exclusions, just to give the audience some more information. What about dental appliances to help with sleep apnea?
Those are all considered, again, additional and outside of the normal realm of what's considered by the Dental Association and what they're looking to cover. One of the big things that came up a couple of years ago is the oral screening, the oral cancer screening, and again. What happens is, everyone is just like the American Dental Association sets forth. These are the policies. This is what should be covered underneath the standard dental plan. So everyone tries to follow those guidelines, and I think they're still, they're still in that period of whether it really does make a difference or not. And so a lot of times, like I know, for example, I'll use myself again as an example, that my dentist does it, and it's not covered by anything. I do it anyway, just again, oral health.
Real quick, when we talk about in-network and out-of-network, if you go to an in-network dentist, I don't get balance billed. So they set up a discount with you, or based on the service, there's a pre-negotiated rate. So if the dentist said, I normally charge $500 at 80%, they may have a deal with you where you're only going to pay 80% on $400. They're not going to say you owe 20% of the $400 plus all of the difference between the $400.
Right. So it's all based when you go to an in-network provider. It's all based on the negotiated fee. So like you said, it's 80% of that negotiated fee, and then whatever. It's not the entire amount. So when you say balance billing, it's not like you said, I normally charge $500, but because you're part of Delta Dental, that we're going to charge. It's only $300.
I don't have to pay the difference.
They're not going to charge you that full $500.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what I figured.
Yeah.
I just figured some of the audience may want to know. How hard is it, or how easy is it to set up a group?
For us, it's very easy. For my standpoint is I need the name of the group, where they're located, and what they're looking for with plan designs and how it's going to be funded. Because we can do it either voluntary, we could do it where it's a split 50-50 cost, or however that premium is divvied up, or you can have the employer like yourself where you pay everything. So it all depends on those funding options of how they're setting up. Once that's done, send me the information. I turn around a quote in about 24 to 48 hours. Once you say, yes, this is what we want to do, I'll send you over the paperwork, you fill out the paperwork, and it could take less than a week to get everyone up and running.
Wow, that's pretty quick.
Yeah. Well,
we're running out of time, and I want to have you on another show. I always say that to my guests because half an hour is just not enough, right? Can you just tell the audience how they can get a hold of you if they have any questions?
Sure. So if you guys have any questions, it doesn't matter where you live, please feel free to give me a call. I can direct you in the right direction. But you can either call me on my work number, which is 201-274-4459. Again, it's 201-274-4459. Or you can reach me at A. Flanagan, just like my name spelled on the screen, A. Flanagan at deltadentalnj.com. And then you can also go to our website, which is deltadentalnj.com, and you can look around there. We actually just revamped our website, so it's really neat. Get some more information. But like I said, I'm happy to talk about it, and like you can tell, I enjoy talking about dental insurance.
Andrew, thank you very much, man.
Thanks,
it was
Rob.
a pleasure having you on my show today, our show. And I want to thank the audience for allowing me into your homes and businesses every week. And just remember, when you have the opportunity, please pay it forward. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.